Hey, what it do, Sports Well, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about the NFL draft, and who are some of the winners and losers from today's, from the 3 days that the NFL draft has been going on. I'm going to give you all I feel like my predictions, on who I think that are winners and losers. I'm going to go with both. Um, this right here was a hell of an NFL draft, y'all. This right here was a really good draft. It's not one of the stronger drafts, but it was a really good draft. I think a lot of players should have been drafted that wasn't drafted. Um, like like Frank Gore Jr. Frank Gore Jr. should have been drafted. Okay, Sam Hartman should have been drafted. Okay, a lot of these players should have been drafted, but they wasn't drafted. But they were signed as free agent. We're gonna start off with the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had a good draft. Okay, with Caleb Williams and Roma Duzier. That right there was gonna be that's gonna be a hell of a duo right there. I think that Caleb Williams was the best. I think I would say he was the top two player in this draft. I'm gonna go with either him or Marvin Harrison, whichever one you all want to go with. But those are the two best players. The Arizona Cardinals end up taking Marvin Harrison Jr. But some of my winners from today's draft, the Chicago Bears was a winner. Okay, I'm gonna give them the win because of the top two picks that they got. I will say the New Orleans Saints with Kool-Aid McKinstry and some of the players that they got. They got Spencer Rattler. Okay, they had a really good draft as well. Okay, the New England Patriots, and I'm not just saying this right here because the New England Patriots is my team. I'm saying this right because the New England Patriots had one of the better drafts. Okay, they took Drake May. Okay, then they turned that up by Jalen Pope, the wide receiver from Washington. That was another big one. Even though I wanted them to go with Mitchell from Texas, but Polk is still a really good. Follow that up with another good wide receiver in the fourth round with Javon Baker. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you who the two I think is gonna be the steals of this draft. And I'm not just saying this right here because I'm a Pats fan. I will say Joe Milton the third. I'm gonna talk about him in a minute. And Jaheim Bell, the tight end from Florida State. I think that he could come in and possibly be a starter in the two set tight end that the New England Patriots run. I think that he could come in and he could be a big pickup for the New England Patriots. Okay. But I want to talk about Joe Milton the third. Okay, Joe Milton is the quarterback that came from the University of Tennessee. When I seen that they had drafted him, this is what the first thing that came to my mind. The draft from the Washington Redskins when they took Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins. This is what this right here is. This is what type of pick this right here was. And I'm gonna tell you all why. Joe Milton is like 6'5". Let me get this. He's 6'5", 235 pounds. This dude can throw. He got a cannon for an arm. He can run. He had first. If you look at him, he's a first round talent. It's just the inconsistent. He's so inconsistent. That is the reason why he fell down in the draft. That's why he fell all the way down here to the seventh round, the sixth round. That's the reason why, because he's so inconsistent. But this kid had first round written all over. And I'm gonna tell you who he reminds me of: Anthony Richardson, the quarterback last year that went to the Indianapolis Colts. He's that type of quarterback. He can really challenge Drake May for the starting position. And a lot of people saying he might move him to tight end. He came pretty much on Instagram and said that they drafted me as a quarterback. So I can see Jacoby Brissett being the starter. I can see Drake May and Joe Milton being the second and third screen. But I can see this right here being after this season, if Joe Milton continue to get better, that he can push Drake May. He can push Drake May I'm talking about to the limit. And just say like this kid is as we think he can be with his type of potential, that the Patriots can, if depending on how Drake May turns out, they can pretty much say, you know what, we're gonna trade Joe Milton and try to get something out of him, like a Trey Lance. Okay. But this kid, Joe Milton, if he puts it together, the kid got first round written all over him. The only thing about it is he's very inconsistent, and that is the one thing that a lot of people do not like about him is that he's so inconsistent. Another team that had a really good draft, the New Orleans Saints. They took an offensive tackle with the first round, which they needed that. They took Kool-Aid McKinstry in the second round, and I keep telling everybody, Kool-Aid McKinstry was one of the best cornerbacks in college. He's going to be one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. This kid right here is a PT. I'm not going to say he's a primetime player, but he's a hell of a player. I think he got NFL written all over him. He fell down to the second round, and I was surprised that he fell down to the second round. And the reason why I was surprised is because I thought that him and Torian Arnold would be first round cornerbacks. Okay, but he fell to the New Orleans Saints. They got him. Another player that they got was Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, he's a really good pickup. Okay, I'm not saying he's going to be a star, but he got a chance to really be good in the NFL, depending on if they give him the opportunity. Spencer Rattler, and a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of reports, they're saying that the reason he fell is because of what happened when he was in high school. I'm the first one that said this right here. I was the first, when I first saw quarterback one, and I seen Spencer Rattler on quarterback one, I said this kid right here is going to hurt himself by at least, even in college, because of the way he acted. He came off as a spoiled brat. Okay, that's what I saw him as. He's a very spoiled brat. That's what he came off at in quarterback one. I was just looking at him. I'm like, man, this kid right here really is really hurting himself by the things that he's doing. A lot of people say he even got, I guess they was going to suspend him by something. They didn't really talk about it that much in the show, but the reports came out, that he did, I guess, some kind of prank or whatever, and it went overboard, and that's the reason why the kid I think he got suspended or something like that. But that is the reason they saying that's what hurt Spencer Rattler in this draft. Another winner, the Philadelphia Eagles. Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo. They said, a lot of people say the kid is the number one cornerback in this draft. They took him in the first round. Not only did you follow that up, you fell into the second round where you got Cooper DeJean, the other best, another really, really good cornerback. I would say at least a top 4 or 5 cornerback in this draft. You got him with your second round pick. Okay, now that's right there. It's what you call winning. Not only did they do that, they followed that up by Will Shipley, the running back from Clemson. I said it, man. I said, man, this dude right here can be, if he put a little bit of weight on him, put a little bit of muscles on him, he can be like who? Like a Christian McCaffrey. I'm not saying it because he's white, but I'm saying it because he got that type of talent. He got that type of, when Christian McCaffrey was coming out of Stanford, he can run, he can catch out the backfield. You can put him in the slot. It's a lot of things that you can do with this kid, Will Shipley. And I think this right here was a really, really good pick. And if that wasn't good enough, in the 5th round, they went after Clemson linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. You probably know his dad, Jeremiah Trotter Senior. This kid right here can play. He's one of those linebackers that's all over the field. And I said, you know what? How did they let the Eagles get this kid? That's why I say the Eagles, they got the young linebackers from Georgia last season, the young defensive linemen from Georgia. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles won this draft. That's just my opinion. What was they short on? They wasn't short on offense. It was defense, cornerback. They had a terrible time stopping anybody. What did they do? They went out there and they got all the cornerbacks. They get out there and got at least 2 of the top 4 or 5 cornerbacks in this draft. Okay. Then what you do, you follow that up. You needed a running back, not only a running back that can run, a running back that can also catch out the backfield, that you can line up in the slot. You can do a lot of things with Will Shipley. Then you go out there and you get a linebacker. Okay. And then on top of that, they went out there and they got another wide receiver, which is Johnny Wilson, the big, tall wide out that came from Florida State. So they basically let the Philadelphia Eagles win this draft. Okay, the Eagles is the number 1 team. They won this year's 2024 NFL draft. Okay, and the last team I want to talk about that pretty much won, I would say one team is a loser and one team is a winner because the one team helped the other team. The loser will be the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to put Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to put them in the same thing. And I'm going to put the winners was the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers, you heard it here first, y'all pretty much helped the Super Bowl champions get stronger. How do you help a team that's already dominant get even more dominant? I never understood that. No. So the 49ers pretty much traded their first round pick to the San Francisco. The 49ers, I mean, not the 49ers, the Bills traded their first round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City took Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver out of Texas. Okay, what did they allow? The 49ers ended up trading, a 3rd round pick? They ended up getting a really, really good offensive lineman. So I'm just looking at this and I'm like, man, how do you allow the Kansas City Chiefs out of all teams to get even better? It makes no sense to me. It made no sense to me. I couldn't understand it. They got Xavier Worthy, And then they get the big offensive lineman. Well, they got a good offensive lineman from BYU. They got a really, really good another offensive lineman in the in the 5th round from from Penn State. So I'm pretty much like, dude, they just allow him. But I'm not worried about the rest of those. I'm worried about Xavier Worthy because the kid can fly. He runs a 4.2 in the 40. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm really not that worried about Xavier Worthy. Yeah, he can fly, but the one player that I was worried that the Kansas City Chiefs would get that would separate them from everybody else, really separate them. They already separated, but they would really separate them from everybody else if they would have got Mitchell from Texas. Either Mitchell from Texas or Coleman from Florida State. Those was the two players that I was really, really worried about. Okay, I was really worried about that. And another winner, I got to give y'all one more winner. The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions went out there and they got everything that they needed. They got Wingo in the 6th round, the defensive tackle from LSU. They got Ernest Rackstraw. The kid came from Duncanville High School. I've been watching the kid ever since he was at Duncanville High School. He went to Missouri. He had a really, really good year. He didn't have a great year this year, but you cannot measure what he got. He's a very tall cornerback at 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot. He's like 190 pounds, and he's very, very athletic, long arms. That is what they really needed. The Detroit Lions was pretty much needed a cornerback, and that's what they got. They got in Enes Rackstraw Jr. Okay, the kid is from Dallas, Texas, Duncanville High School. And also they got Alabama cornerback Torian Arnold. I said Torian Arnold, he came out of nowhere. Okay, Alabama recruited him as a safety. Nick Saban saw something in him. He said, you can be a cornerback. And now the kid goes in the 1st round as a cornerback. He had a 92 grade. He was number 11 overall, number 2 at his position. I think that he probably was the best cornerback in this draft. The Detroit Lions traded up with the Dallas Cowboys to take this kid, and he's standing at 6 foot, 190 pounds, a really, really big cornerback. The Detroit Lions pretty much had a hell of a draft. Okay. And like I said, it was other teams that had really, really good draft. Like I said, even the LA Chargers, the LA Chargers had a good draft. Or Joe Alt, their 1st round pick, big offensive lineman, 6'9", 6'10", 321 pounds. Then you get Ladd McConkey. McConkey, you take him in the 2nd round. He's a hell of a wide receiver. I wanted the New England Patriots to get him. They didn't get him. Not only do you do that, you get the Colston, the linebacker from Michigan. You get the defensive tackle from Alabama. So they pretty much, and then not only did you do all of that, in the 6th round, the 7th round, you get Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice. I said, man, this kid right here could be the steal of the draft. Okay, Polk can be the steal of the draft, but I think this kid right here can also be the steal of the draft. Okay, so when I look at these teams, man, all these winners and losers, now I'm gonna tell you another loser. Another loser was the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm not saying because they took Michael Penix Jr. I'm saying that they are a loser because you gave a quarterback $200 million, but then you go and draft another quarterback. Not only did you draft another quarterback, you drafted a 25-year-old quarterback. Okay, and Michael Penix, he might end up being good, but with how weak the NFL is right now, a quarterback can play 15 years easily. Okay, because you're not going to get hit that much. You're not going to get hurt. You're not going to get hurt. Okay, because they're putting on the headgear now. So you pretty much can play 15, 20 years easily. But I'm saying that they're a loser because of the money that they gave up for Kirk Cousins. If you're going to go out and draft the quarterback at number 8, which I think that they should have drafted Dallas Turner. Okay, the outstanding defensive end from Alabama. But hey, it is what it is. I would say that they are one of my losers. Okay. And another team that had the Washington Commanders had a good draft. Okay. Cincinnati Bengals had a good draft. The San Francisco 49ers would be another team that I would say now I will say this right here. I'm gonna say this right here before I finish what I was about to say. The San Francisco 49ers, depending on what they do with their 2 wide receivers, then I'll say whether they, is a loser. But right now, they are a loser. And I'm gonna tell you why. Ricky Parcell, he was not even on a lot of people 1st round draft board. Okay. He could have got him later in the 2nd round, maybe even the 3rd round. And I would say that right there because Mitchell, I think, is a better fit for the 49ers. Okay. I would say, what's the kid name from Keon Coleman from Florida State is another big wide receiver that could fit them. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm saying that the 49ers is a loser. Okay, that they had a pretty good draft, average draft, okay draft, but I just feel like Ricky Parsons would have been there. Okay, he would have been there in the second or third round. Why take him that early? Okay, when you got Keon Coleman on the and you got Mitchell still on the board, why take him? Okay, and okay, who else I feel? Okay, that's pretty much all the teams that I would say. Yes, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, yeah, you got Keon Coleman, but you know, you waited a little, you helped the San Francisco, you helped the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm still pissed off about that. Why do you help them? Don't help a team that you can't beat. Like you help the New England Patriots because you can beat the New England Patriots. You can't beat Patrick Mahomes. You can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So why do you help them, Buffalo Bills? Think about that. But at least you got your wide receiver, you got your replacement for at least Gage, okay? But you still need at least one more wide receiver that's going to at least play, okay? Even though they got Ray Davis, the running back from Kentucky, I think that was a good pick. But I'm gonna be pissed off about this until the season starts. Why help the Kansas City Chiefs? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this draft, the winners, the losers, and whatever else y'all want to talk about with this NFL draft. Hey, until next time, hey, make sure you all have a great weekend. Be safe out there. We got a tornado watch going on right here in Iowa. So hey, make sure y'all continue to do great things. Make sure y'all tune in to the next segment. I will be talking about the NBA playoff as the Lakers game is getting ready to be over with. The Lakers right now is up 119 to 108 with 37 seconds. So I'll be coming right back on after this game, and we'll be discussing today's playoff games in the NBA and why I told you all that the Miami Heat will not win another game against the Boston Celtics. And then when I come back, I'll explain to you why I feel like that. But until next time, man, y'all have a great night. Peace.